What's up, everybody? Tonight on Scandal, we're breaking down episode 13, titled The Box, with a very, very special guest. Don't want you guys to miss it, so stay tuned. We'll be right after.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
All that power. Count the hours. Kanye vibes this week.
Yes. Powerful vibes.
Yeah.
The power.
The power was actually stripped from somebody this week.
The power is real.
Exciting.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to our Scandal After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We're so excited to have you guys with us each and every week while we break down this madness that is Scandal Season 6. I am your host, Christine Alexis. You can find me all over social media at Christine Bean. I'm going to kick it over to my lovely co-hosts.
Hey guys, I'm your girl Parris Rose. You can find me on Instagram and Snapchat at Parris Rose with 2 R's.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Jessica Williams. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Jessica WW and, of course, on Instagram at Miss Jessica Williams. What an episode.
That's an understatement.
What an episode. I have to start off with my Melly voice. What an episode. Like,
shout out to Bellamy Young.
chills, like everything.
Yeah, I mean, this is a perfect episode for our special guest, which we'll reveal in just a second.
Yes.
Really quickly, before we get to that, I want to say shout out to everybody who's joining us right now in the live chat. Ask away. We have a really great episode planned for you guys, and we're so thankful to have you joining us every week. Whether you download us later on iTunes or listening live right now, we appreciate you.
Yes.
But the moment we've all been waiting for, we get a little drum roll.
A little excitement.
Our special guest this week is none other than Miss Zoe Perry.
Ladies, I'm so happy to be here with you.
Cheers. Cheers to you.
Scandal, season 6.
Exactly.
Six.
Thank
Amazing
you.
Season.
Gotta take a drink to that
Yes,
first,
yes,
actually. Amazing season. Lots of new characters like yours.
Yes.
And from the time you came onto the show, it was just a splash. Lots of sass, craziness.
How fun is this part? I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky. I mean, you were saying earlier that I get like Rowan-worthy lines thrown my way. I mean,
yes.
come on.
Yeah.
Out of control.
You
I love it.
and Joe
Yeah.
Morton are definitely tied for the best one-liners this season.
Yes.
Well, and I just love that man.
Right.
I mean,
Hail Joe
yes.
Morton.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
For real.
Genius.
So when you first saw your script and you actually like read through and you're like, oh my God, like this. And of course it's like fresh to you guys after each table read.
Yes.
So you're surprised. What was your reaction as you were really trying to like look through and really see what your character was turning into?
Well, I guess we got a pretty healthy dose of like how nutty and mean she might be right off the bat. So that was pretty fun. And then I guess the surprise was just like how much it got amped up every episode beyond.
Yeah.
So that was it was just a treat. I don't know about you, but like it's fun to do that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, it's been such a treat for us since the time you came onto the show. It's like we're constantly wondering what you're gonna say next.
Exactly.
Me too.
What you're gonna do.
Me too.
I mean,
Me too.
what kind of prep goes into playing this kind of character? I mean, do you throw on some like the sassiest Beyonce ever and just go into straight up like sass mode?
Yeah,
Right
it's
there.
like,
just
well, we don't often know what's coming, so it's like I wasn't taking golf lessons. But I mean, it's all just right there, yeah. So I guess the sass just brings itself, and I'm so happy to step into that role.
that's
That
exciting.
is.
Yeah. And sorry,
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the feedback you've been getting for being the villain? Are people like thinking you're really a villain?
There's some of that, and then also people being very, very kind and saying, "I love to hate you."
Yes.
So
Yeah.
thank you for making it fun. It's like, well, you know, that was all done for me. But no, I appreciate when people don't think I really am Marjorie, Angela,
Samantha.
Miss Rulin.
yes,
Miss
Grace,
Rulin,
Rulin,
yes,
Dennis.
Grace Dennis.
So speaking of all those names, I mean, we have had fun up here each week just being like the lady in the red dress, the lady in the ponytail, the fierce lady, the badass. Like we have been having so many different names for you.
Yes.
But one in particular that we've coined, I think that's like officially official through the Twitterverse.
Copyrighted.
And thanks to our live chat for tuning in each week and helping us with it, is the 2 Live Crew.
I love it so much.
We're glad you love it.
Genius. Thank you.
And thanks to the viewers, too, for helping us out.
Yeah, so it's
Thank you,
like,
viewers. You're the best.
This is how they talk about you. They're like, oh, no, the 2 Live Crew this week, the 2 Live Crew. We're like, we love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, we can't keep these names straight.
Yeah.
No, and it's good. It's good to put them both together. It's like one unit because we sort of are. It's like a left and a right brain. He's like all creepy, and I'm kind of weird and quirky, and who knows what we are.
And a little creepy too.
Sure.
I'd say you're pretty personable. I mean,
Very funny, though.
Who doesn't want to be her friend?
Yeah,
right? I gotta say though, that's like the hallmark of a really good villain. When you love to hate them, those are the people that you tune in to watch every week.
So true.
It's very true.
So, and speaking of our viewers, some of our viewers may or may not know that Zoe Perry is actually daughter of Jeff Perry, who plays Cyrus on Scandal. If we can cue the pic of Zoe and Jeff together.
Talented family.
This is actually you guys together. In Anna Christie. That was on Broadway in 2015.
That was here at the Odyssey Theater on the West Side. Here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and then we have another pic of you guys together. If you can throw that up there.
Oh, I love that one.
Oh, here you guys really look alike.
Yeah, right?
Oh, wow.
Love it. So I'm sure you get this question all the time, but we have to ask, what's it like working with your dad?
It's, I was going to make a joke. I was like, it's torture. No, I can't even joke about it. It's like, it's really lovely.
Yeah.
I just, he's such a sweet guy. Like, that's
Don't say.
that's just And so, I mean, it's really fun. And he's always been really supportive. And getting to do that with him was incredible. And that actually kind of just spurred all of this, which is what's so remarkable.
Yeah,
I mean,
Shonda Rhimes came to see your show.
She came to see it in support of my dad and in support of Kevin McKidd, who was also in it. And she I guess she had said to him maybe at that point, I'm gonna keep my eye out for her, and then she did. I mean, it's just so remarkable. She's
That
great.
really is. And that
She's the
story
best.
is amazing because I was at the Paley Fest this year in March, and your dad, he was so proud of you, and he was bragging on stage about you and how this kind of came about, because it wasn't like people would think, oh, okay, because they're family members, maybe she got the role because she's his son. No, because you're his daughter.
Yeah.
It's because you're talented. And Shonda saw you in action, and she said, you know what, I'm going to put a space in my mind. And then she said, this character belongs to Zoe.
Yeah.
That is so incredible to be in Shondaland and to be remembered by Shonda Rhimes herself.
Well, I mean, I just feel so privileged. I feel privileged that she came to see it. I mean, obviously to support Dad and Kevin, and they were so remarkable in that. And then I just so lucked out in getting to be a part of the world beyond that. So.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
That's awesome. And I know that I speak for our panel and for the Scandal fans to say that we love having you on this season. I think between your character, Parris, obviously, and Meg, really great guest stars who really just kicked it up a notch. I mean, Shonda Rhimes is a genius, certified.
Yes.
But
and shout out to Linda Lowy, casting director extraordinaire.
Yes.
Who's also my stepmother. I might be biased, but also we can all agree that she's pretty fantastic.
Yes. Top-notch. A legend, yes.
Top-notch. But yes, all the kudos to Shonda. Oh my gosh. And
It's awesome.
She's the best.
She is.
She's the best.
She's given us one of our favorite shows that we gush about every week.
Or 3 of your favorite shows. You watch all of them, don't you?
I watch all of them and then some. And I'm going to say a past one, Private Practice, which you had a guest appearance on.
I did.
Yes.
I did. In fact, I think I made a TV Guide list of grossest TV couples ever.
Oh my God.
In history. Really? And I felt pretty proud. I did.
Whoa.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
because
Good
the
title.
premise was a couple comes into the private practice, we're having trouble conceiving, and then unbeknownst to us, we find out we're brother and sister.
Yes.
Oh,
Creepy.
okay.
But I don't know why you kind of
Yeah.
like fall into those roles like
Yeah.
brilliantly. I mean, let's talk about The Family, which is another ABC show that you starred in my
Jenna
opinion.
Bands from the world of Shonda.
It-
wonderful people in this world.
It was, but you played a creepy girlfriend having a child by a murderer. Like, it was just like, yeah, but it was so, you brought us in. We don't like hate you.
We don't
But
love
we're
you.
like
don't-
intrigued,
yeah,
but we
it's like-
can't love you because
like
we
you're
would
not
be
doing
bad.
good things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess you're doing the best with what you got. I don't know.
I mean, well, just going back to your character on Scandal, Miss
Yeah.
Rulin, Samantha, I think that's her most common alias at
Sure.
this point.
Yes.
I mean, I'm curious to see your answer. If there are any similarities between who you are and her character, could you pull from anything with her character?
That's good.
Well, I guess I mean, can't we all relate to just a kind of no nonsense streak?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just need to go there. I mean, that's the most fun too.
Yeah.
It's like,
Sure.
oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've had enough of you and this.
Yeah.
So goodbye.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, I know you kind of joked about golfing lessons earlier. I think that's actually a great time for us to play our clip that we have the engineers pulled up. Yeah, this was definitely the moment that we knew that Miss Rulin, Samantha, does not play these games, and she is not here for it.
Shocker.
Let's roll the clip for us.
Okay, 1, I don't fear anyone. 2, you will never step foot in my White House, let alone tell me what to do.
Maybe we should all just...
3, I will make it my mission to have you tried and hung for the murder of Frankie Vargas. That cannot stand. Have I made myself clear?
Let's do this. Let's take tonight, think things through, and then once we've all had a chance to calm down a little and catch our breath.
Oh,
God. Still shocking.
1, now you do fear us. 2, Miss Ruland is your new chief of staff now that Miss North has become unavailable. You report directly to her. 3, if you alert authorities or try to cede the presidency to Cyrus, we will kill your children. Have I made myself clear? Senator?
Yes.
I think our work here is done.
Congratulations, Senator. You're about to be president.
Ooh, I see.
Oh, by the way, how fantastic is Bellamy's reaction? In
Yes.
that? I
Yes.
loved watching that.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
that sound effect made me jump.
I know. Just
For
the
same.
like the guts. Just
Yeah.
I counted
A lot
4
of
swings.
guts.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's just
I was like,
I wanted
I
to
think
make sure.
have a
Yeah.
yeah.
little blood splatter for good measure.
You know, 1 or 2 might not be 10. I don't know.
What was it like shooting that
Yeah.
scene? I mean, imagine doing so many takes of that.
It was
Yeah.
wild. There were a lot of takes, and there was a moment too where our director was kind of brilliant and said something to the effect of like, think about why you're doing this, and I realized like, oh yeah, in my own character mind, I was like, I didn't know that I was going to kill her in that moment, but I did not like how Melly was talking to my payas. And I can't take it out on Melly in that way, so
Right.
someone had to die.
Well,
Portia.
Oh, Portia.
Portia
I'm
de
sorry,
Rossi.
Portia.
Lizzie Bear.
Portia, I love
Yes.
you.
I'm sure Ellen will lick her wounds. She'll be okay. Yeah.
poor little Lizzie Bear. So
No, Lizzie Bear.
that was an exciting scene. I'm curious to know, like, what was your favorite scene out of all of them to shoot?
Oh gosh, it's a good question, but it's a hard one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I started all of this working with Joe Morton, and that was just a dream. He's so remarkable. So I love doing stuff with him, and but really all of them. It was wild this last episode. I was laughing that I got. It was kind of like a parade of all the people I've like tortured. So and we did all the bunker scenes back to back, and it's like, step into my office. Like one person deals with me, and then they would go away, and then the next person would come in, and I'd be like, oh, now we get to work together. So it was kind of lovely. It was like a trip through memory lane of Marjorie's sins.
Yes.
But
so cute. Except they were torturing you this
except
time.
they were torturing me.
Taunting and torturing.
Yeah. I know, it was a hard position to be in. I know, it was kind of odd. I had been in such a seat of power, such a position of power through that whole thing, that to then be handcuffed was like, where am I? What's happening?
Yes.
I don't like this.
Yeah, I mean, we also saw that last episode too, where you were kind of contained in a bunker with Abby's character, and you were finally neutralized. Up until that point, you know, you guys were the scariest people to be walking around DC until someone with a white hat came in and told you to step aside.
Yeah,
I think it's a good time to roll that clip as well.
Oh yes,
Let's see the white hats.
We can actually start that at
events of earlier today when an
a minute and 30 in.
They're recapping now and we're still here. How does it feel to be so utterly useless that no one bothers to come collect you?
We just received word that any moment now, President-elect Mellie Grant will be making a statement from the White House briefing room. Let's take you there live.
What statement? What the hell is she doing?
That's the first thing you learn. Presidents rarely do what you want them to do. They're like kids in that way. Got to keep your eye on them.
So, what a day, right? And not just a day, a week, month, campaign. And the minute you think it's over, new uncertainty raises its head. I've had enough of it, and I'm sure the American people have had their fill. Which is why I am proud to announce my choice for Vice President of the United States of America. Vargas. I'm sure you all have a million questions.
Do you like being in the Secret Service? Do you find it rewarding? Because it's over if you don't open that stupid door right now. I'm gonna be your boss, you son of a... It's about time. Olivia Pope. How nice to finally make your acquaintance.
I took Mellie back. I am now her chief of staff, and you are now our prisoner.
Is that right?
Where should we stick her? Guantanamo?
Too nice. Maybe something cold and damp at 3,000 feet beneath the Pentagon.
Care to do the honors?
Of all the mistakes you've made,
Your mistake was thinking you could take what's mine, and should you make that mistake again, remember this. You can't take Olivia Pope. Olivia Pope takes you.
I don't see fans being too happy about this.
That was
Bingo.
These women are incredible.
Yes. Women's strength here. Yes.
Yes.
so much.
Carrie was pretty menacing in that scene. I
Yeah.
think she channeled her inner
so
Joe.
good.
Yes. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That was great.
So you're like, we have the pleasure, of course, of chatting with you right now, but we actually had the pleasure of watching this past episode with you.
Yeah.
Which was so much fun. She was out there watching it with us, and we were just kind of reacting together. And something that I asked, which I'm going to re-ask, is how do you feel watching yourself on TV?
It makes me uncomfortable. So it makes me a little nervous. But I so enjoy watching this show that I can take myself out of my own, petty whatever inside head stuff. But I mean, everyone is so remarkable. I mean, I'm just rewatching these scenes and being like, oh, Darby, it was so fun shooting her. Just everyone. I loved everyone so much.
That's what we get a lot from, I know when I see the tweets from the cast and just behind the scenes footage, it seems like it's such a really big family that's been built there, 100 episodes plus in. What was it like joining that family, and how did everyone else on set make you feel?
They're wonderful. The crew is incredible. The cast is incredible. And it really is such a wonderful and just kind and functional set. And that's not always the case, everywhere you go. And they're just so great. I mean, I cannot speak more highly of them. They're all wonderful and just rock stars.
Yeah.
I felt, you just feel like very privileged when you get to go on a set like that, where you're just like, oh, pro,
right.
you know, everyone.
And as a cast, you guys are really like on that Twitter game. Like,
they're on it. Yeah, they're on
live
it. I know.
tweeting and all of that. You guys should follow Zoe at Zoe J Perry.
Yeah, my dad's better at it than I am at this point. Yeah, I know. I've been told I need to, pick it up.
So now though we know you're not going to be on Scandal so much anymore. What's in store? Where can we see you?
So I don't even know exactly when it's coming up. Maybe in the fall, but I'm gonna be in this prequel to The Big Bang Theory. It's called Young Sheldon, and it's about Sheldon as a boy. He's 9 years old, and he is entering high school.
At 9 years old. Okay.
First time. Yeah, at 9 years old.
Super
He's
smart.
smart as hell.
He's very smart. It's going to be a little trying for him, for the other kids around him, and for his family. And it's a comedy that also has like a lot of heart and kind of like touching moments in it. It'll be really cool.
So we're gonna see you in a different light this time.
We'll see me in a little different light. Not me as cruel as Samantha Marjorie, but Grace. But Sarah. But I can still be a bit no nonsense.
Okay.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I see your sassy side for sure.
Yeah.
Don't want to let the whole episode get away with us without diving into this week's episode, titled The Box. And that refers to a series of boxes that was sent from the 2 Live crew to Rowan at his office.
Crew.
Yeah, you guys are pretty nifty with those bricks. It kind of threw us for a loop for a little bit until later in the episode when we realized that was just a warning, because next it would be Olivia's head in that box if Rowan tried the 2 Live crew.
That was surprising.
I honestly thought it was going to be, I don't know why, but I couldn't think what could be in the boxes. So I thought maybe were body parts of the girlfriend. It was not Angela.
Sandra?
Sandra. I thought maybe to scare him, to show them what's possible. Yeah. To show him what's possible, but it was bricks. I was like, oh, was it body parts?
Yeah, because of his reaction, I agree with you. I was like, it has to be something that's so cringeworthy for him to have that type of reaction from looking at it. And so then when they revealed that it was actually like bricks, and the bricks was a saving grace, really, because if there's a brick, there's no Olivia Pope's head.
Exactly.
I was like, oh, so that was a sigh of relief, not a sigh of like intensity.
Yeah.
That was
right, but just
deep.
breaking him down more and more as each package arrived. Right. Like, I can't take it.
Yeah.
You did that.
I did that. 2 Live Crew did that. Oh, 2 Live Crew.
Gosh.
Rest in peace.
Seriously, I mean, this whole episode, I know we kind of briefly touched about it when we were watching it together. Seeing the previews from last week, I was under the impression that, these drones, the threats that they posed, we would be kind of trying to stop it all episode long. But things got off to a pretty quick start. One went off in Dallas. Subsequently, another went off in Philadelphia. And the time was just going. It was about finding where Parris was, using their asset that they had contained, Miss Rulin, to figure out where he was and figuring out a whole plan to stop it. And I gotta say, the way it played out in the end was super surprising, but in the best way, because we didn't want our characters to be left with no other options. And it seemed like that was the case up until the very end.
Yes. Although I have to say, as much as I loved Rosen's power, David Rosen's power in this episode, with that like intense jab, I feel like he ultimately got the L. Because he ruined the plan. She was able to tell that he was lying.
I think he ruined it on arrival. Like, when, we kind of looked, when she requested David, it was like, why? And I was kind of thinking, I was like, she can tell if he lies. When you're so intimate with someone, you can tell when they lie. Yeah. But I wasn't sure how she was going to tell, or how deep it was going to go in that scene.
I mean, wasn't that a well-crafted scene?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, hey, writers, Scandal writers. I mean, because, you go in, you think, like, what's she up to? And then you're like, oh, she's being sincere.
Yeah.
And I actually was being sincere when I played that, I'll tell you. And then, but then he told me what, and I was like, oh, no.
That's true. It was a change. So
I'm done with you.
Is Grace your real name, though? Was that another throwaway name?
We'll never know now.
Tune in next week.
Oh my God.
Maybe we'll find out.
Is that a tease?
Oh.
Is that a real life tease?
Maybe.
So you say in that moment, though, you were being sincere. You wanted a relationship with Rosen.
that's how I like to
That's how you
play
interpret it.
Yeah, that's how I interpret it. I mean, that's a fun thing about like any show, right? Is there's so many different interpretations,
Yeah.
Right.
And so that was just my own personal one.
Okay.
But anyone could read into any version that
Sure
they want,
they will.
which is great.
Yes.
Yeah, people are probably watching and being like, that wasn't what happened.
Yeah, I was just thinking, no, Sarah or Samantha or whatever your name is, it's just too smart. She's not gonna fall for Rose, and she doesn't really want a relationship.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Of course,
and it revealed.
Well, why not?
Something.
Yeah,
it revealed something. The live chat was always like, and we kind of played and bounced around off of each other. Was how big is the 2 Live Crew? Are they it?
Yeah.
Do they have? Are they working for someone? Or people working for them? So we realized at first when you guys shot the 3rd guy. He was like, okay, well, he's not in power, or he was, and now he's not. And then Liz North, it was like, oh, is she running things? Nope, she's not.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. So this episode really revealed that you were not running things alone because you kept deferring back to, well, I have to see if I can get an approval.
Yeah.
I work for my employee. I'm valuable.
Sure.
So that enlightened us because we're like, she's running things. Lady in the red dress is running things. And so we saw who was.
Although maybe that was another ploy. I don't know. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows in the moment, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, do they have another trick up their sleeves?
Yeah.
But we still have to find out who they were working for.
I like this. She's giving us something because
you're giving us breadcrumbs.
Yeah, we're gonna peel back this onion in these next couple of weeks. So we're like, what's gonna happen? We have 3 more episodes.
Yeah.
I know. If you can, just check in on the live chat, see how they're doing.
There's a lot of stuff. First off, the feed. Oh, did you want me to go now?
No.
The
Go for it.
feedback was just like, sorry. Like everyone's super excited that you are here.
Oh, hey everyone.
Yeah. So they just been like reacting. They're joining in on the conversation. But a couple of things that I kind of highlighted. They were talking about Grey's Anatomy. They're like, oh my God, a lot of like Grey's Anatomy connect because your dad started off in Grey's Anatomy and you had a guest role.
I did.
Grey's Anatomy too a few years ago.
I did, yeah.
So they wanted to know if you watched and were you like super into that? Was that your original TGIT
Oh yeah,
show?
yeah. I started with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then got to be on set in that whole land, which is fun.
Yeah.
And let's see here. So Scandal, let's see. Gladiator.
People are firing
Gladiators
away.
broke Twitter.
Wow.
Is what?
Who broke Twitter?
Gladiators.
Darby Stanfield actually tweeted that a little bit earlier.
Gladiators.
That Gladiators broke
the fans,
Twitter.
us.
Some people still think Mama Pope is behind it all.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That will be a good little.
I'm looking
bit.
into the camera going.
Yeah, because Jessica totally eyed you. Like, tell us.
Like, just a
like,
little
so are you
bit.
gonna confirm or not?
Do we? How about this?
Yeah.
Do we know who is in charge? Like once it's revealed, will we know that character, or is it someone that we just wouldn't have known?
Oh, that's a good question.
As she sips her wine.
wine.
Here we go.
Never mind the sips tea, sips wine.
Okay, I'm gonna find some more good questions in here.
For sure. I have to say one of the best lines this episode to describe you was actually from Jake Ballard when they were all talking about what to do with you.
Yeah.
And he said, loves cats, hates democracy. I fell out dying. It's great.
So good.
So good.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Yeah, and you usually deliver your threats with a smile, a creepy smile, which is great.
I love the twinsies tonight.
Twinsies. These writers are funny.
Yeah.
They're funny.
We can
This
see
humor is
it
great.
just how much fun they had with writing your character.
Oh gosh. And it was, it was so cool. So cool to play that. Because who doesn't love being like some comic relief, when stuff is getting really intense and then all of a sudden you get to be like this.
Yeah, and your jokes are very relevant. Like they're very trendy. Like twinsies. It's very trendy jokes.
Yeah.
Like we all get it. So.
Very witty.
Very timely.
And someone in
Grace
chat,
is with the times.
Yeah.
they did, but we were dying when this happened, and live chat is buzzing about it tonight. But when you kept calling Rowan Coolio,
my God.
like that, we were dead. Like that was so funny.
I had a hard time even saying that. I was kind of embarrassed to even. I can't remember if I even begged forgiveness for the show. I was like, I don't want to disrespect you.
Right, you're like, am I offending you? Is that outdated?
Coolio.
But it was so funny because we actually live as we were chatting, we Googled, we're like, what does Coolio look like today?
Yeah.
And he had the crazy hair, just a couple of twigs left.
Yeah.
And we're like, we could kind of see it. A little bit, Rowan.
Maybe
Actually,
not.
kind of, a little bit with the gray hair.
It was just funny. It was so funny.
So your character, for as all of her quirks and sassiness and all the vicious things that she's done, I will say I truly love her because she was one of the strongest female characters on this show.
She was strong,
very strong, and I feel like this season a lot of the female characters got a lot of love, and that's a tip off to the writers and to Shonda for making them strong. And we saw a lot of that this episode in the end, where Melly decides that she wants to turn herself over. She's like, you know what? All they want is me. And at the end of the day, it's not worth all of this happening. And Liv really gives her this really great speech that she's always good for, and throws in that line about being a nasty woman, and just the weight behind her being this world's first female president, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And just your take on playing one of the strongest female characters on this show.
I mean, how about how wonderfully topical this season is? I mean, there's so much going on in just even in the election that was happening, and now with Melly. I mean, stuff is heavy in the world right now, and and Scandal doesn't shy away from it, and they also bring some really kind of poignant stuff to the surface, which I think is really great and powerful. And I love. I mean, who doesn't love just seeing all these strong women on television? It's incredible. Olivia Pope is just.
She's everything.
Amazing. Oh, that speech to Melly was incredible. And it's moving. And it's like I think we're all just feeling a certain way right now. It's like, give us back our control or we're going to take it.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see that portrayed.
That's so true.
For sure.
Always so current.
In particular, like, I felt like Olivia, we're so used to her being in that powerful role, but in this episode, I just wanted her to take charge, and I felt like she kept deferring it to Rowan because, that's where she learned everything from, and he's the one that could ultimately handle the situation. So when she gave that speech that you were mentioning, Christine, I was like, I felt like she got woke, like, after Rowan escaped you.
Good point. Good point.
Took you
no,
away.
Definitely.
It's like she was like, okay, wait a second. I have to snap into gear. I have to be Olivia Pope. I have to handle this. I have to give my wonderful monologues. And I have to say nasty woman and trust at the end.
Yes.
She said trust. And we touched on this a little bit back a few episodes ago. When we kind of call it art imitating life in the sense of what you're talking about, what's going on the show and in real life with the election and with President Trump and all of that. And Olivia, Kerry Washington was at the Women's March. And she spoke, and she kind of started off her speech saying, it's kind of sad that people are tweeting me saying, Olivia, fix this. And they're like really serious. They really want for me to fix like real life circumstances. So as you were watching and kind of seeing them back and forth, have you gotten that type of reaction just from people that you've talked to, and just kind of like, I just wish that people that are characters could really like play real life and like handle it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of people out there. I mean, I think kind of it's not even partisan. I think on whatever side you're on, if you're suffering, you just want there to be a quick fix. And I think that's what people wish was possible. And ultimately it's not. But I do think that like, we have power in numbers, and we just need to all kind of band together for what's good and right, and to just make sure that like all people are protected.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what Olivia stands for.
Right. Yeah. What would Olivia do?
And how about this episode? It's like save the Republic.
Yeah.
It's not just about any individual. It's like we got to do this for everyone.
Yeah, we totally got that bigger picture mentality when it. I think within that speech, I mean, realized that it's so much bigger than about having a grant in the White House. It's about what it stands for and what they're representing by taking down this threat. We're not going to just let some external factor come in and dictate how our democracy is going to run. And Olivia wasn't going to stand for it. And honestly, I know we kind of touched on this in a couple episodes prior, where Olivia was like ready to turn herself in. She was so distraught that Cyrus took the fall for everything. And, a couple characters asked her, like, why are you doing this? Like, what is your motive? And it kind of comes full circle now when it's about protecting the integrity of the White House and making sure that, the right person is there. And Olivia's not going to back down to anybody.
Yeah. And I liked you bringing up that moment, too, because I'm thinking about it now, and it's like, right, this was, her speech to Melly was post thinking that Rowan had just gone AWOL,
Yes.
and she had been maybe deferring to him prior to, but like she just took the reins, and it wasn't about. Yeah, she found it with no. It wasn't about a man. It wasn't even her dad.
Yes,
it was just she found it within herself.
So symbolic to real women all over the world.
Cheers to that.
Our nasty women that we are.
Also, cheers to Liv rubbing off on Fitz, because he was like pretty good this episode. I know we kind of give him a lot of slack for being a little weak, especially in previous seasons, but that little plan that he concocted with Rowan and Jake in the end was just spot on. Great.
Although Papa Pope still calls him out for being weak in his great monologue. Where
that was a great monologue.
It always is. When is it not great with Papa Pope?
No, of
course.
But
pretty much he doesn't give him credit ever. He pretty much says, you're weak. And she loves you. Like, how is it possible?
Right.
Yeah. Which kind of confirms that, I mean, even Papa Pope knows that she ultimately loves Fitz. So all you Olitzers, I'm sure you're happy. Even Papa Pope knows it's not Jake.
Oh, we have to ask.
Oh, yes.
Are you team Jake and Liv or team Fitz and Liv?
Well, I'm dead. So I guess I don't even have an opinion.
As a character, you probably hate Jake more because he's the one that took that knife into the back of your neck.
Oh, yeah,
so
but I did say it was kind of fun.
Yeah,
you
did.
That.
Oh my God.
I mean, man after my own heart.
That is
we do speak the same language.
In an alternate reality, I think you guys would have made a good couple.
Oh, I know. Forget Rosen.
Yeah, we just met at the wrong time. Timing is everything.
Yeah,
it is.
Sure is. I mean, 1 minute you're locking eyes, the next minute, you have a tracker getting gouged out of your neck. I mean, just first dates,
life.
They're awkward.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
But what you're saying about Fitz, I love that he, for the first time, I felt owned it. Like he owned.
Yes.
He says, I will admit that I am someone who have been pulled by people's puppet strings in a sense, and I am controlled. So I was like, you actually know it? I thought you just knew it. I thought we were watching you get pulled and played. Because sometimes he thinks, I'm the president. I'm going to take over, and he's going to make those decisions. But I'm Team O'Lake. I love Fitz, but we're Team O'Lake.
But Fitz got
called out. That will never happen.
Fitz got called out kind of twice in this episode by Papa Pope and then slightly by Olivia when he talks about the war. And he's like, well, I had to do that. And she's like, nah, we won't make that same mistake again. So it's showing like, no, Fitz, it was a mistake. Like, let's not pretend it was heroic. It was a mistake, and we won't do it again. So,
but let's also not pretend that we don't need Olivia.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yes.
I mean, we need her.
Yeah,
she's so quick to be like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. But sweetie, you wouldn't even be here. Like, come on. The show revolves around you, that was an interesting turn that Scandal took.
That's
that
the same
season.
remorse that she felt about rigging the election. Had she had not, then look how things kind of unwound in the 100th episode, and. Yeah.
How great was that?
It all comes. I know.
100th episode was.
It all comes back.
That was so good.
It all makes sense.
I mean, were you with the cast when they all watched it together?
No. Well, where was I? I believe I was with my dad and stepmom and sister and some family. Yeah. But
so every week y'all do.
Oh, and I love that Katie Lowe's.
Yes!
I love.
We were gushing about The Bachelor before the TV show started.
Didn't she deliver?
She did.
She's great.
Come on.
Yes.
There were some things that didn't quite make the cut in the blooper reel. I'll just say she delivered some Corinne lines just for fun, and with gusto. I'll just say that. She's hilarious.
That's great.
So
she's great.
When you guys meet, I want to know more about like this weekly watching that you have with your family.
Yeah.
Is there wine? Is there popcorn?
Oh, sure. Yeah. There's wine. There's whatever's on hand. And then
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just watch full gladiator mode.
Food. Wine.
You change.
Tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
love
good
it.
stuff.
We love it.
Great. Before we get into our predictions, I just want to ask, like, what's your biggest takeaway from working on this show? The best piece of advice anyone's given you, and just what you walked away with from working on this project?
I think for me, it was so exciting just to be on this show because I'm a fan of this show and I think everyone's so incredible, and then to get to witness firsthand just really how remarkable all these people are on a day-to-day basis. Because, you know, I mean, these are long days, and everyone, I mean, crew has long days, cast has long days, and everyone just comes with their A game, and they're always on top of it, and they're always, you know, in good spirits, and it's like, okay, that's the takeaway for life. Yeah. It's just like, just be grateful. Have some gratitude and enjoy the scenery.
Awesome. That's good.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. So this was actually so timely that you were able to join us for this episode.
I'm so happy I got to join you for this one.
This one was just, I mean, I guess we see the end of your character. Is this it?
I can't thank you three enough for such a wonderful send-off.
Oh.
No, it's true. I'm glad I was here for this.
I'm so glad.
It's great you were here because we didn't even know it was going to be your send-off. I was so sure it was going to happen during the finale. So,
But the funny thing is, when we were talking and like in between commercials, we were like, man, is she gonna die? Is she gonna get shot? And then someone was like, no, I think it was you. You're like, she needs a gruesome death because of what she did. And Zoe's all like quiet, like, I don't know. Like, and I was like, she's not gonna die. Like, who knew that your death would be gruesome with a tooth from a dinosaur? Like,
with a tooth.
The ultimate, like,
with a tooth.
You were gutted.
It was great. It's exactly what I wanted. I just didn't know it was gonna happen when I wanted it to. So.
I think that all took us by surprise, especially because I think prior to this point, we had been predicting the end of the 2 Live crew to be with the end of this season.
Right.
Just the way that these episodes have been playing out, it seemed like it was like a fast track to the end. We'd find everything out at the end.
Yeah.
But now with 3 more episodes to go, where does this leave our characters?
Yes.
I know in the teaser for next week, we see a little bit of tension between OPA. Things aren't going as, you know, go team go, as they have been these last few episodes when we were all fighting a common threat. Now that threat is gone, what happens next?
Predictions.
I think it's a good time for the lights. Let's do it. Predictions.
Lights.
Oh,
yes. Fancy.
Buzz TV predictions.
Like,
all right, Jess, Parris, Zoe. At this point, 2 Live crew is gone. Fitz is on his way out of the White House. Melly is the president-elect with Mrs. Luna Vargas to be her VP. What happens next?
Questions. That's all I have is a bunch of questions. One, I will still mention, where the heck is Alex Vargas? Now that, I mean, seriously though, his brother was assassinated. The wife is going to be the new vice president. We still don't know where the brother is? I'm very upset about that. I need to know where Alex is.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't know where this is going. I'm going to say I'm going to miss the 2 Live crew. I like that drama. I really like that love to hate them character. And I don't want to see drama between OPA. I really don't. My last question is, I think Quinn even posed this question in the teaser. If Liv is not the head of OPA, what is OPA? Will that die? I hope not. But it kind of died this whole season, so.
It did, because we weren't doing the actual, like, case-by-case situations. But I felt like we've kind of been here before in this gray area. When Fitz went to go live in the White House and kind of spent that time, OPA was kind of left. They closed the doors and they weren't open for business. So it's like, is that going to happen again? Except this time she's not going as the mistress, other woman, powerhouse for Fitz. She's going as the powerhouse for Melly.
Yes.
And so I'm so excited that Melly will be our president. Like, I just knew that something was going to happen because of, like, real life. I was like, something is going to happen, and they're going to put Cyrus into the White House. We love Cyrus, of course, Jeff.
Don't you worry.
But he can't be president. So Melly, we were like, okay, yes. So that's exciting that she's actually going to be able to go, that the 2 Live crew is no longer in the way.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm totally sad that they're gone. More importantly, your role, only because I loved your lines. The fierce one-liners, the wittiness, the starkiness. I was like, oh my God, yes. So that's why we kind of developed that love to hate relationship with your character. Moving forward, OPA, falling apart, the arguing, like, I need for us to just I need for the momentum to keep it up and us to get new cases, keep OPA busy, see the transition of Olivia walking into that White House with her walk, with the sass. I need the handbag on the arm and the white cape.
The white coat.
Yes. And I need for her to walk into that chief of staff office and say, this is how this is about to go down. This is how we're going to roll over this presidency. And I just want fireworks.
Yeah.
Is that too much to ask?
No, it's never too much to ask.
I mean, I'd ask for your predictions, but what can you tell us?
Or do you know?
Well, Two Live Crew will probably haunt all of them.
Ooh, yes.
That'd be remarkable. Be like, I'll come back that way. I probably can't play this game, but I love what you're bringing to the table.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Some predictions that I have. I mean, to talk about Jeff Perry this episode, it was interesting seeing Cyrus kind of like snake his way back into Fitz's right hand, where I think he rightfully, has always belonged.
Yeah,
I mean, his loyalty has always been to Fitz. I see him having a bigger role in the White House than any of us expected. I don't think that he's just going to fall over now that he's not going to be the president-elect anymore. I don't think he'll just have no role. I mean, what is he going to do? He's not with Michael anymore.
Right, and he declined the vice presidency.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So that leaves a big question mark because Cyrus's character is that bulldog. I don't think he ever really takes a step out of politics. Right. So I'm curious to see how he'll find his way into this next administration, seeing as Fitz and Abby are on their way out. Abby has already been iced out. Yes. How will he have a role in the next administration? How will him and Liv continue to work together for Mellie, if that'll even all gel? That'll be interesting. And what
about Marcus? Does he have any role in the Mellie's
press secretary?
He's press secretary right now, but
in Mellie's, okay.
Well, he can probably roll over.
You think so?
It's the same
I hope
party.
so.
But
I like what you said though, just about Cyrus's role, because I do feel like it's kind of like everything gets brought back to this point.
Yes,
Olivia and Cyrus started off working together to get Fitz there. Now I see it as
they're
like
building
budding.
a grant.
I know, because like where is the role? The highest role under the president in this case is the chief of staff. So will it start back? I'm sorry, I'm thinking as I'm talking. Will the feud between Olivia and Cyrus come back because they're fighting for the most powerful position under the president?
They're all indebted to Cyrus after what he went through as well. So I'm interested to see how he'll leverage that. And I'm also curious to see also what happens with OPA, because like I said, prior to this point, I thought that the season was going to end with the demise of the Two Live Crew, and then maybe season 7, we're going to pick up the pieces after the fact. But it seems like we're going to be confronted with what happens next right now. And I think that'll lay the groundwork for season 7 based on how these next 3 episodes go. Yeah. So really excited to see that.
Yeah.
For sure.
I keep saying things and looking in Zoe's eyes to see if I can read.
We're trying to be I'm like,
will there be a feud?
Am I giving you anything?
No.
Oh God, those expressions are so telling. We love it though. And yeah, I'm gonna take a sip really quick to your character.
Yes.
Cheers.
Two Live Crew. Cheers to you.
Two Live Crew.
Rest in
Thank
peace,
you for
Two Live Crew. They came in together. They left together.
They sure did.
Shout out to David Warshawski, who was Payas. He was remarkable too.
Oh yeah. I mean, talk about sinister.
Yeah.
He's like, you're annoying me.
I mean, so good.
The delivery was fabulous.
I love it.
Yeah. We loved it. And we loved having you. I know
Thank you.
Yes.
So nice to be here.
So great.
Yes, so good.
Yeah, lovely to be with you all.
Claps. Yes. So
yes.
good.
We're so excited to see you on The Big Bang Theory.
Thank you.
What is
Young Sheldon.
Young Sheldon, and that'll be on CBS as well.
Yes.
So we'll be sure to tune in and support you there.
Thank you.
And all your future endeavors.
You have a movie coming out.
Do I?
TV movie.
I don't even know.
It is. It's coming out. Stay tuned. Follow her on Twitter to get the updates, because she's going to start tweeting after today.
You'll teach me how.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we'll be sure to fire you up on Twitter. But thank you again for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you
to
awesome. Everyone in the live chat for
Yes.
participating with us. We love having you every week in our discussions. And if you'd like to continue the conversation with us after the show, Jess, where can they find you?
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Miss Jessica WW and on Instagram at Miss Jessica Williams.
And you can find me on Instagram and Snapchat at Parris Rose with 2 R's. Don't forget the 2 R's.
And you can find our lovely guest, Zoe Perry.
At Zoe J. Perry on Twitter.
On Twitter. Cool.
That's good.
Awesome. And you can find me all over social media at Christine Bean with 3 E's. Thank you guys again. It's been a killer episode, and we'll be here same time, same place next week.
You
can find us here. Peace out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.